You won't believe what just happened to Sammy Kioko. Kenya's beloved comedian just broke down in tears, revealing a heart-shattering truth about his sister's health and the real reason he has been desperately demanding for payment from the county government. But that is not all. What he posted online has left fans absolutely stunned, a single post that has shaken the entire nation. When you stay silent in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. Now everyone is asking, what really happened behind closed doors and why is no one listening? Stay tuned because what unfolds next is going to leave you speechless and probably out of control. Well, Sammy Kioko has posted a very emotional caption on his Instagram page, posting a photo of his sick sister, and this is what he said. When you stay silent in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. No one is asking for charity. It's money for work done. That was her first surgery. We have been doing regular hospital checkups, only waiting and hoping we will be paid. At least we finance her second surgery, which is due. County government, let us uphold humanity and not everything is to be politicized. We called for help but you ended up being political. It is unfair and we all need our payments. Now let me tell you about the real victim in the story, Sammy Kioko's sister, a young woman whose identity he is protecting, whose face he has been shielding from the public scrutiny because this isn't about fame or attention, this is about survival. The first surgery happened while Sammy Kioko was already deep in this battle with the county government.
Thank you for your encouragement, thank you for your prayers. Mambo itakuwa sawa, au sio? So this morning, kwa wale wananijua, they really know that this car has been my blessing. It has been a big blessing for 8 years. Wale wamenifuatilia like 10 years ago, you know how I acquired this car. And this car has been a big blessing. And yeah, sometimes as a man, you have to do what you have to do, even if it hurts. So this car, I don't want to say ati nauza gari. I just want to say I want to dispose it. Nataka kubariki pia mtu nayo with a good price.
The family had to scramble, had to borrow and had to piece together resources just to afford the first operation, and throughout it all, they held on to the hope that the payment would come through. But surgeries, especially major medical procedures, rarely come as stand-alone events. Doctors conduct follow-up examinations, they monitor healing, they assess whether additional interventions are necessary, and in this case, the medical team determined that a second surgery was not just recommended but was essential. Picture this, a hospital room, medical equipment beeping steadily, a young woman lying in a bed, trying to stay stronger for her family, doctors explaining that the second surgery needs to happen soon, family members exchanging worried glances because they all know the truth and they don't have the money. And in the middle of all this stands Sammy Kioko, a man who has spent his entire career making people laugh, now fighting back tears as he watches his sister go through regular hospital checkups, each visit a reminder of the helplessness and each consultation another bill they struggle to pay. The emotional toll on Sammy Kioko is visible in every post, every video, every plea for help. This is a man who has built his mother a beautiful home, who is known for taking care of his family, who has rose from humble beginnings to become one of Kenya's most recognizable entertainers, and now he's watching his sister suffer because the county government won't honor his debts. But here is what makes Sammy Kioko's situation even more heartbreaking. He's not asking for handouts, he's not setting up a fundraiser, he's not asking Kenyans to dig into their pockets. All he is asking for is what he is owed. The money he earned through legitimate work, the payment that should have been processed 19 months ago. And yet as the day turns into weeks, as his sister's surgery dates approaches, the county government remains silent. No payment, no clear timeline, just more obstacles and political games. Well, this isn't just financial crisis, this is a humanitarian crisis. This is about a family being pushed to their absolute breaking point because someone somewhere in the Machakos County Government decided that this payment isn't a priority. But that is not all. Wait until you see what happened next, because Sammy Kioko did something that most people will never have the courage to do. Something so desperate and something so bold. On a cold Friday night in the late October, Sammy drove to the Machakos County Government offices, the place they call the White House. And he did not just show up during business hours. He camped there all day, and when the sun went down, he didn't just leave. He stayed in his car outside those offices through the entire night. The video he posted from inside his vehicle is absolutely gut-wrenching. You can see the exhaustion in his eyes, the frustration in his voice, and the desperation of a man who had tried every other option and found all doors closed. Listen to his words. Dark days and nights urgently need help. Things are not okay. And that's not the voice of a confident comedian. We all know that is the voice of a man at the end of the rope. He explained that he had been there since morning, just hoping to get an audience with the governor, Ndeti, not to cause trouble, not to make demands, just to sit down, human to human, and explain his situation, to ask for help and to plead for the payment that could save his sister's life. But you know what happened? According to Sammy Kioko, there were people who made sure he couldn't see the governor, people who blocked his efforts, and people who turned him away again and again. Imagine the humiliation. Here is a successful entrepreneur, a household name in the Kenyan entertainment, reduced to camping outside government offices like he's nobody, begging for what is rightfully his, and being turned away by bureaucrats who probably earn their salaries on time every single month. But here is what you need to understand. This wasn't just about Sammy Kioko's pride or his business. Every hour he spent in that parking lot was an hour his sister spent waiting for surgery. Every comeback tomorrow was another day of medical uncertainty. Every closed door was another barrier between his sister and the healthcare she desperately needed. And still, he didn't give up, because that is what family means. And that is what love looks like when it is tested by fire. So what happens next? As of today, Sammy Kioko is still waiting. His sister is still in need of that second surgery. The clock is still ticking, and the Machakos County Government has only released a statement saying they are looking into the matter. They have had 2 years to look into it. How much longer does a family have to suffer before justice is served? But here is what we know. Sammy Kioko isn't giving up. He has vowed to keep knocking on those county offices' doors until someone answers. He's determined to get the payment that could save his sister's life. And the Kenyan people are watching, because this story has become bigger than one man and one family. It has become a symbol of everything wrong with how our county governments operate. The delays, the corruption, the callouts, the disregard of human suffering. Sammy ended his emotional post with these words: "County government, let us uphold humanity, and not everything is to be politicized. We called for help but ended up being political. It's unfair, and all we need is our payments. It's a simple plea. Pay what you owe. Honor your commitments. Don't let a young woman suffer because you can't get your bureaucracy in order." This is Sammy Kioko's darkest hour, but if there's one thing we know about this man, is that he's a fighter. He rose from nothing to become one of Kenya's most beloved entertainers. He built businesses from scratch, and he took care of his family when times were good. And now, in this hardest moment of his life, with his sister's health hanging in the balance, with his business collapsing around him, and with employees depending on him and creditors demanding payment, he's still standing, still fighting, and still refusing to be silent in the face of injustice. Because silence, as he said, is choosing the side of the oppressor. The question now is, will the Machakos County Government finally do the right thing? Will Governor Ndeti step in and ensure that this family gets what they are owed? Will Sammy Kioko's sister get the surgery that she needs before it's too late? Only time is going to tell, but one thing is certain: the eyes of Kenya are watching, and we won't forget, we won't let this story disappear. We'll keep demanding justice until Sammy Kioko and his family get what they deserve. If this story moved you, if it angered you, or if it broke your heart the way it broke ours, share it. Let the world world know what is happening. Let's put the pressure on those in power to do whatever is right. This is the shocking truth behind Sammy Kioko's tears, and this is the story they didn't want to tell. This is why a comedian who made billions laughing is now fighting for his sister's life outside a governor's office. Justice delayed, justice denied, and Sammy Kioko has been denied long enough.